Hi, my name is Mitch K. I have one rental here in Austin, Texas. Been here since 2016. My wife and I actually met downtown on 6th Street. We moved into our first home in 2021, which was our primary residence. And just now in June of 24, moved out of that home, got a bigger house in Spicewood. So we decided to turn that first home into a rental. Our plan with our long-term rental is to hold on to it and actually to move back into it once our kids are out of the house, because my rental is downtown Austin and we got an interest rate under 3%. So as we moved out to Spicewood into our second house, we weighed our options between selling and holding on to it. And I think it makes the most sense to turn it over to a company like 1836 in the meantime. I reached out to 1836 for two main reasons: expertise and the peace of mind convenience. I have never been a landlord, nor do I ever plan on it. 1836 truly makes it almost as hands off as possible. They'll do everything from the maintenance, and as soon as it's turned over, I can just live my life with my family and not have to worry about the day-to-day of being a property manager. You hire an expert for everything that you do. So fix your car, a doctor. I'm not an expert in handyman work or owning a home or managing a home, so I'll let the expert do it. I reached out to 1836 after asking friends and family that also use rental companies. Out of 4 or 5, 1836 was the highest recommended. I had a great conversation with the owner of the company, Matt. And of course, when you're talking with a rental company, you expect them to answer all the questions that you have so you feel comfortable moving forward. But what I really respected about Matt in 1836 is he told me things that you probably might not want to hear, like some of the truths around renting a property. So for my case, for example, because of the location and type of home, he shared with me that maybe I'm only going to break even on this house, but you have to think about it from a long-term appreciation play. He didn't hide the fact that I might not be cash flow positive, and I really respect him, telling me straight. I totally thought that, I'll just rent the house and it'll be a couple $100 a month. But the way that he framed it up was just so truthful. And nevertheless, somebody else will be paying the mortgage, but I did not expect or think about that. I'm in software sales like a lot of people in Austin, and getting to a no and getting to a yes fast are equally as important. So I really appreciate him shooting me straight. During the onboarding sessions and process, they really helped me think from the point of view of a renter, to not get too emotionally attached to my old house. They did a top to bottom inspection to highlight both required and suggested maintenance. So for example, my gate wasn't latching. Obviously that's something that's required. They have to do that. But things that I didn't think of were maybe that bright accent wall in the bedroom that other people won't like. They said, hey, in our experience, this is something that can delay a house in getting rented. So I really appreciate the fact that they had that expertise and knowledge to help me think outside the box. I was living in my primary home, and that was our first home. And you got to think, you're not going to be there anymore. It's not about you. You got to put yourself in a neutral renter's head. This is my first time. I've never worked with a property manager in the past, so TBD on that one. 1836 was the highest recommended from all my local friends and family. My advice for anybody partnering with 1836 would be to start planning early. Before I even put in an official offer on my second house, and while I was still living in my primary, I started planning with 1836. That way, once my offer was accepted, we could leverage the 30-day period to get all the maintenance done, get the house up to standards. And by the time I moved out, my house was listed in 7 days. My last bit of wisdom, Matt, the owner, suggested I go down to their office, which is an awesome location on South Congress, and meet the team. I really appreciate that personal touch, and it was really nice to meet the team before I signed on. So if anybody else is thinking about working with 1836, go down to the office, meet the team, say hi. They're awesome to work with. So that's my last bit of advice.